up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready, break.
52.
Rush in. Bam, now.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On second down, Jacobs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now they try the right side here. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Here's Jacobs. They find some open field here. And he's got this down to the 35. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
And they give this time to the tailback. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set 50, plant.
53. Blue there.
Tight dog. 61, matchbox, lights. They go.
Now a first down throw, Greer. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. There was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to...
And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Yeah, go.
And maybe that's the perils of being a rookie running back in the NFL. I mean, look, it's not easy to hold on to the ball at any level with these talented guys, but in this league, you can learn a lesson early. Without a doubt, and what a tough reminder for any running back, especially a rookie. The things you got away with in college probably won't work so well in the NFL. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll make the score 14-0.
14.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready?
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. To throw on 2nd and 10. Greer, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Greer. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. I think he might be off to the races.
They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Sean Dion Hamilton was there to bring him down defensively.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 39-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the run.
Hey, Haywood.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Let's go. Mike, 53. 53, Mike.
Now.
Here's Greer now on 2nd down. He sets to fire deep. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way, and the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. He'll have a first down past the 40. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Josh Jacobs. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot. Go.
Play action. It's Greer. Looking deep downfield. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 5 at the 25-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And an alley to run. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down. They come out here in the I. From back at the 2, here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and the route is on here in this first half.
28, Buccaneers, nothing. Michael Dixon, the kickoff force.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
That's the end of the first quarter.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
Let's get it.
Go now. 70, Indy.
All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Let's go.
Throwing on third down, Greer. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Pulled in at the 24. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
They're on the 36-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a carry for Jacobs. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
No gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, high 7.
45, Mike, 45. Just out.
Ready?
Operating from the gun, Herbert. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards that time.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Right up.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
We play to win. Let's go.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Now on 2nd and 13. Greer. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Now a first down carry by Jones. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
53, Mike 53. Hey, watch this.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
At the 47-yard line.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
5.
On 3rd down, Greer. Open man has got one. It's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 29-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. As his guys are in for 6, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Got it.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Ready.
Now a handoff looking right. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1.
Wahoo!
2nd and 10. Here's Greer again. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Bravo.
52. Mike 52.
From the gun, Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Rock it. Let's go. Get set. Now.
To throw on 3rd down. Herbert. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
Here we go. Set. 15 line. 15 line.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. As an inside linebacker, got to be a little bit more poised.
No doubt about it, because they get a little bit of flexibility, especially when they're trying to stuff a gap. You know, we get that double A gap look. This time he got too eager and got too deep into the backfield.
They run it with Jacobs. Call it a gain of 4, leaves them with options here on 2nd and just a yard. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Come off the ball. Come on.
Ready, go. 5.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
80 weapons.
On 3rd down, Jacobs. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
We got this.
Ready.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
And logo.
Back to throw. Herbert. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. Greer now, just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10.
X3, 218, chopper.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And no room that time. Getting it to about the 46.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Greer. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
No room to be had there on the 1st down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Go now. 8 reads.
52's the mic right here over there, right? 52's the mic.
We own them. We own them. Ready.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herbert looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. 7 yards on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun. Herbert. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. There he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
A free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now they try the right side here. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On the ready.
Block 52. 52's the mic. Me and you all day.
We strip.
On 3rd down. It's Jacobs. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Looking to throw. Herbert. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
No gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Once again, it's Jacobs, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
Got it.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And now look at him go. The 30, the 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. 96 yards. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. So from back deep in their home territory all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now a handoff looking right. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs 34. The Seahawks on third down. Now they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Running is Jacobs. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed and being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Greer now, perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Watch a slap.
They fake the handoff, now Greer. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
To throw again on 2nd down, Greer. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Check 26, check 26.
Protein spill. Go, go. Get it.
Greer looks to throw again. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Down. 60 or.
Let's go, D.
Hey, Charlie.
From the gun on 3rd down. Herbert. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Able to slither by. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 23 yards on the play. From the 50, here's Greer. Now a desperation throw. This is caught inside the 15. That one good for 37 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. They caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch. And most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
Again, Greer. And he comes back with one complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. To the air again, Greer. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
New Mike 52, Mike 52.
Get it.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Hey, zoom. Ready?
First down, Greer. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Trey Flowers picks it. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.